For 150 years, Louis XV to Napoleon, France chased an empire in India, but they failed. The story of that failure is more brutal than you were ever told. Glorious Failure, The Forgotten History of French Imperialism in India by Robert Ivermee is published by Context India. The book is described by Shashi Tharoor as readable and an indispensable contribution to the historical writings of Indian history. France was an aggressive imperial power in South Asia. Through the East India Company and state, they established a far-reaching empire, but the conflict with Indian rulers, competition from other European nations, and the fatal strategic errors undermined their position in India. The author's research reveals the truth. France's Indian empire relied on war-making, conquest, opportunistic alliances, regime change, and slavery. This was not a civilizing mission. This was exploitation dressed in Enlightenment clothes. Here is the darkest chapter talked in the book. The abolition of slavery in 1848 did not end French exploitation. It simply replaced it. A system of indentured labor emerged, impoverished Indians committing to 5 years of work in French colonies for a free passage and a mediocre wage. Pondicherry and Karikal became key recruitment centers for France in India. Almost 194,000 Indians were shipped to French colonies before British India finally prohibited the export in 1888. But this labor thing continued to Mauritius until 1920, with nearly 500,000 Indians arriving on that island alone. After failing to take control in India politically, France pivoted. Paris became the European Center for Indological Studies. Scholars flocked to learn Sanskrit. France suggests recent scholarship was determined to lead the European so-called intellectual conquest of India, studying manuscripts shipped back from Pondicherry, while the subcontinent itself slipped away from the French control. The book also described that the 200 days of French rule over India came to a close. The blue-white red trickled out of France's ceremonial flag into the Indian Ocean. The country was reclaimed. But the author reminds us, even this was qualified progress. The inequalities engineered by French imperialism did not disappear. They